I'm compelled to say that I was still existing in my masculine last year in the smallest details that I didn't even notice. I didn't understand the chaotic nature of femininity and the rawness of emotional highs and lows. I think I dove so deep into the rigid nature of routine, and although there were things in that routine that supported my femininity, I feel as though I got so deep into an unhealthy relationship with myself in some sense because I focused on projecting femininity rather than embodying it. And whilst the routines are still very useful to me and the way I work, I've let go of the need to be in routine every day and given time and space for myself to have natural flow and feeling towards myself and growth. The reason why I wanted to read to you guys that journal entry is because I wanted to talk about projecting femininity rather than embodying it. I wanted to focus this video on the people who seem to be caught up in projecting femininity, caught up in the idea of femininity and the aesthetic of femininity rather than the real and raw of what femininity is or what I'm learning femininity to be. So I actually did a Google search on femininity because when I'm making videos, I like to have, I guess, definition and also like just research to back up the natural processes that I go through. So I did a Google search, and when I said feminine nature and I basically researched the traits and things that come along with that, this is what came up. So it says nurturing, sensitivity, gentleness, modesty, warmth, tenderness, devotion, understanding, cooperation. Beyond stereotypes, there are emotional intelligence, creativity, intuition, receptivity, sensuality, and inner strength. And for feminine energy, underneath it, it says flow, fluidity, faith, imagination, inspiration, and compassion. When you hear femininity today and you see women explain and give their understanding of what femininity is, a lot of it comes with the aesthetic. A lot of it comes with what that looks like. A woman that has her shit together, a woman that has her maintenance together, a woman that always looks well presented, a woman that knows her worth, and a woman that just always looks good and takes care of herself. And for me, I fell into that. I think I used femininity to soothe my need to be in control. I would say this was about a year or two ago, and my need to be in control is very, very massive. Like I always need to be in control, and if I'm not in control, something's wrong. And I think, please, bees and the birds, leave me alone. Let me finish this video, and then we can talk. Okay? Thank you. Back to business. So I said that I feel like I use femininity as a way to soothe my need for being in control. I very much always need to be in control, and if I'm not in control, I lose my shit. And the reason why I said I feel like I use femininity to soothe that is because I was in such a rigid routine, but a routine of keeping up with myself, a routine of looking good, a routine of going to the gym, eating well, having my maintenance done, always looking nice and presented, and feeling good within myself. Because I'm not gonna lie, I did feel real good. I focused on what pleased my ego and what made me feel like I was doing the work and what made me feel like I was putting in the work. I focused on soothing my ego. And I think a lot of us actually do that without realizing it. Because for me, as I was planning this video, I wrote this down. I focused on soothing my ego and making myself feel better about the work that I was putting in my life, and making myself feel better about the progress that I see, or making myself feel better about the videos that I'm posting. I wanted to feel better about my life. I wanted to feel better about myself. So what better way to do that as a woman than to focus on your aesthetic and focus on getting your money up and focus on looking good and having your maintenance and being a woman that knows her worth and being a woman that's standing in her feminine. I focused a lot on the projection of femininity and not what actual femininity is, and that is the highs and lows of your emotional state. That is allowing yourself to be in flow of nature, allowing yourself to have the ups, allowing yourself to have the downs, and not pushing aside how you feel, and not pushing aside your body signals for the sake of, oh, I need to be disciplined, or I need to stay in routine, or I need to have this figured out, or I need to have this That's not what feminine energy is. And whilst, yes, you do need to practice discipline, I'm going to get onto how discipline goes into feminine energy, because it's not what's being projected. The reason why I was able to realize that I wasn't actually in my feminine as much as I thought I was is because when everything fell to shit I felt a shit. When I was homeless, when my mum and me were going through our issues, when I was losing people around me left, right, and center, when I didn't have a gym membership, when I didn't have a job, when I didn't have this, when I didn't have that, everything around me fell to shit, and I fell with it. And that's when I realized that I wasn't in my feminine as much as I thought I was. But the reason I say that is because femininity, like it said in the research, is fluidity. And that means being able to adapt no matter the change and no matter the circumstance. Because I like to describe women and femininity as a direct reflection of nature. And nature adapts, nature changes, and nature grows. And I feel like as women, that's something that we have, but we don't tap into. And for me, my femininity was only when I was in routine. My femininity was only when I had everything I needed to perform and to project. I had the money to be able to get my juices, and I had the finances to be able to go to the gym, and I had the finances to do my hair every other month or every month, if that, and my nails and my skincare and my this and my that. So femininity was only based off of circumstance and only based off of where I was at and what I was able to give, and not based off of what was actually genuinely inside of me and the process and the flow of every season of my life. And when I say I felt a shit, it wasn't just that I didn't feel presentable anymore. It wasn't just that I didn't feel pretty anymore. I didn't have my routine. It was also that I kind of lost my sense of self. And that's not all down to the fact of that's not all down to the fact that I was projecting femininity, because as I said, I'm on a different season in my life where I'm actually learning myself in a lot more depth because I no longer live with my mum. But because I lost everything around me and because nothing around me seemed to make sense, that became an internal thing, and that became something that I projected, or not projected, something that I internalized, and something that I became my circumstance, and I became the situations around me, rather than um being fluid and adapting to the changes and adapting to the growth and adapting to the things that are happening around me, and allowing myself to still flow, allowing myself to still be, allowing myself to still be connected. Remember, I said I couldn't feel myself and I was no longer connecting to myself. It's because I wasn't in my feminine as much as I thought I was, and the circumstances around me did not support the femininity that I was creating, let's say a year or two ago. Another reason why I feel like I was able to understand that my femininity wasn't as strong as I thought it was, oh, there's something in my eye, is because of individuality. And I'm going to read the notes that I wrote about this because it's very specific. But I said that femininity is not one size fits all. And I said there was an image that I was projecting, a lifestyle I was trying to maintain, whilst my truest desires were in the back of my head. A protection, as it's easier to fit in than it is to not. I'm going to explain. So, femininity is not a one size fits all. And like I said, the aesthetic of femininity that is being projected and the aesthetic of what it means to be a woman that is being projected comes across as if it's a one size fits all. Whereas I believe that being connected to yourself 100% and being in flow with yourself 100% is completely personal, because everybody's not the same. Yes, we are connected, but we are all not the same. What is within me is not within you. What's within you is not within me. So femininity is not a one size fits all. And I said that there was an image I was projecting. And I don't know if there's anybody else that relates to this image, but I feel like, especially as somebody who posts on social media, there's a specific image as a black woman that you feel the need to project. And that might not be a thing for most people, but for me, it was a thing. I felt the need to project a certain image, not only because I would say I wasn't comfortable enough within myself just to project myself, but also because there's a certain image that comes with social media as a black woman that does well, and there's a certain image that comes with posting and being online that does well. And I feel like I had focused on projecting that image before I went on my growth journey, but also whilst I was on my growth journey. And a lot of that image had to do with the wigs and had to do with this type of makeup and had to do with the type of outfits and the type of clothes. And I didn't realize it, obviously, because you realize things when the time is right and when it's necessary to go through your processes. But I didn't realize that the image that I was projecting was also a protection for me. And the reason why I say it was a protection for me is because I've slowly come out of my shell, I would say, on social media, in terms of I started with fashion, didn't really talk much. Then I started talking. Then I changed my whole page, deleted the old one, made a new one. And I'm talking now. I'm talking about everything to do with healing and growing and this and that. And I think in my own personal life, I've had a lot of issues with feeling like I'm a bit too serious for my age, or feeling like I'm a bit too um well spoken, or I feel like I'm like making people insecure, or people think that I'm better than them, or people think that I think that I'm better than them, or people have this image of me to where I felt like if I didn't project this image of somebody who's just pretty and that's it, then it would be harder for people to just accept me. It's a lot easier for me to fit in with people than it is to not. And fitting in with people has been something that I can do. Like, it's not hard. I can fit in with people. I love people. People love me. But there's always sides of me that I don't show people for the purpose of I don't want to intimidate, or I don't want people to think that I'm better than them, or I don't want it to seem like I don't know, that I think that I'm better than people, because that seems to be a thing, a theme in my life, but it's far from the truth. But anyway, it was a protection for me. It was also a lifestyle, or I was trying to maintain, of being that girl that has her shit together, being that girl that's disciplined, being that girl that keeps her up, keeps herself looking good, and keeps herself in maintenance. And it was a lifestyle that I was trying to upkeep, but a lifestyle that isn't, I guess, true to myself. I'm not a materialistic babe. I've never really been a materialistic babe. I like nice things. I like to look good. I like to feel good. I like to dress up, but it's not like it has to be the most expensive thing, or it has to, I don't give a fuck. As long as it looks good, I like it. Um but I think in that season of my life, it was a lifestyle of I always have to have my maintenance done. I always have to look presentable. I always have to stay in routine. If I'm not waking up at 5 a.m., I haven't got my life figured out. There was a sense of social media lifestyle, I would say, that I kind of fell into. And although it did serve its purpose for the season that I was in, it's not who I am at my core and at my concrete. Everything serves a purpose, and I'm not discrediting the lifestyle that I was living before because it served this purpose, but there's parts of it that I will take with me and parts of it that I won't. For somebody that is learning that femininity is obviously not a one size fits all, I shouldn't say I'm learning it because I've known it. I think I'm just stepping into it. Stepping into femininity and the fact that it's not one size fits all, I asked myself, what does that actually feel like and what does that actually look like? And this is what I wrote. I said it feels like I'm stripped, it feels raw, it feels uncomfortable, it feels confusing, vulnerable, exciting, creative, and bold. There's just this ebb and flow, there's just this up and down continuously with me as a person, and the way I'm connected to myself. I have so much ups and downs, but it's so freeing because I'm able to feel myself, I'm able to be connected to myself, but I still have discipline. I still have the things that I get done every day. I still have a creative flow. I still have my list of things that I want to do and my routines, and but there's a difference to the way that I do it. So I wrote, no matter the circumstance, I don't crumble and I have fluidity. The reason why I wrote this is because if I don't have a gym membership, does that mean I'm not going to focus on keeping my body healthy? If I don't have an updated makeup bag, or if I run out of products, does that mean that I'm not going to take care of my skin or my hair or the way that I look? If I don't have a wig, does that mean I'm not going to look presentable? If I don't have a new outfit or a new look every other month, does that mean that I don't have to look presentable? If I'm running low on finances, does that mean that I'm going to just throw away eating healthy and just eat every piece of junk food that I can find? I've learned to be able to change as my circumstances change, to be able to adapt as my circumstances change, to be able to grow as my circumstances change. My femininity is now rooted in just me and the foundation of me. Now, I don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. But does that mean I'm not going to get my tasks done? Absolutely not. It just means I'm moving around things and I'll do it when I want. I might wake up at 9 o'clock. I might start my tasks first before I go outside and stretch. I might do my makeup first before I go to the gym. I might, I don't know, stay up from 12 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning editing a video or creating content or doing whatever I'm doing because that's when I have my best creative juices. But that doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. It doesn't mean that if I don't wake up at 5 a.m., nothing's getting done. It just means I'm allowing myself to be in the flow of when I feel to do things. And if I don't feel to do something, it's not coming from a place of guilt, and it's not coming from a place of judgment, and it's not coming from a place of forcing myself to be productive and forcing myself to get something done, is coming from a place of gentle consistency. And when I say gentle consistency, that is exactly what I mean. I mean, yes, I'm consistent with the gym, but does that mean that I go every day at 5 a.m.? No. Sometimes I will go to the gym every day. Sometimes I will go to the gym 4 times a week, but I will get all my workouts done. How do I do that? I'll go to the gym on Monday. I'll go to the gym on Tuesday. I might go to the gym on Wednesday. If I don't go to the gym on Thursday, I will go on Friday and I will do 2 workouts. I'll do one in the morning and one in the evening because I missed a workout on Thursday, but that doesn't mean I can't get that workout in. It just means that I didn't do it on a scheduled day. And that's okay. It's gentle consistency. I'm allowing myself to be consistent, but still giving myself the space to understand my body doesn't feel up to it today. I have other things that I want to prioritize today. Does that mean I'm not going to get the workouts that I need to get done during the week? No. It just means that I'm going to do it in a different time, in a different schedule, in a schedule that fits me, in a schedule that feels right for me, and not in a schedule that I've put in place to keep myself in control. Because the question that I had to ask myself when it came to the discipline of waking up at 5 a.m. is, am I creating a schedule, or am I creating a lifestyle for myself that is restricted by time? And the answer was yes. I don't need to be restricted by time. Time ain't even flipping real. I don't need to be restricted by time. Why is it that if I don't wake up at 5 a.m., this doesn't get done? Or if I don't wake up at, or if I don't go to sleep at 9 p.m., then this doesn't get done? No, I'm not restricting myself with time. I'm allowing myself to stay in the flow of the day and how I feel, and I'm maneuvering things to stay consistent, but to work with my flow and to work with how I feel and to work with my body signals. Because as a woman, even our cycles is a projection of the way that we should be in flow. Our cycle is so up and down. So why is it that we believe that we should be one way throughout the whole month or one way throughout the whole year? No, we are scheduled, we are designed to be in flow. We are designed to be up and down. So allow yourself to be up and down. Gentle consistency, gentle reminders to stay consistent and to do what you need to do. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it in such a rigid way. A lot of us use the aesthetic of femininity, or use the idea of femininity on social media and having your worth and doing this and being a woman of like value because of the way you look or maintain yourself. And a lot of it comes from protection. Are you protecting yourself out of fear and insecurity? And if so, you should start protecting yourself through intuition and through discipline. And the reason why I say that is because I'm going to use my relationship as a way to describe this. Because being in a relationship and being in a healthy relationship teaches you that the only thing that you can trust is yourself. And that's not to say that you shouldn't trust your partner and you don't trust the person that you're with and blah, 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 blah. But as a woman, your intuitive level will allow you to understand whether you should be in this relationship or not, and allow you to understand the trust that you should put into this relationship or not, because you have that trust within yourself and you have that trust within your own intuition. Everything is a reflection of you. So if I'm protecting myself through my intuition, it means that I'm protecting myself through my natural instinct of whether something is right or wrong for me. And the only way I know how to do that is if I'm connected to myself enough to understand my intuition and understand my intuition beyond my fear. Because sometimes people mistake fear as intuition, and they're not the same thing. I used to fear that if I wasn't in routine and if I wasn't doing this and if I wasn't doing that, then I wouldn't get anything done. Because I do know sometimes I can be lazy. Like a good bed rot, I love a good bed rot. But I used to feel like if I don't stick to this routine, if I don't get this done, if I don't do it like this, I'm not going to get anything done. And I had to rearrange what I believed discipline to be. Like I just described to you guys, discipline now to me is not waking up at 5 a.m. Discipline to me is gentle consistency, because I'm still consistent. I'm still disciplined in what I'm eating and what I'm doing and the life in which I want to live and the life that I am living. But it comes with a level of freedom, and it comes with a level of fluidity and a level of creativity, because I allow myself to adapt to the changes of my body. I allow myself to adapt to the changes of my life, my general circumstances. And that level of discipline is a lot more freeing than living in fear that you won't get anything done. and that's why you have a particular routine. The person that I am is somebody that likes to eat healthy. The person that I am is somebody that takes care of herself, is somebody that looks good, is somebody that has creative outlets, and somebody that has creative businesses, and somebody, I am that person. But that doesn't mean I have to be rigid in the way that I would say practice that, and the way that I live that. I live that because that's who I am. I don't need a routine to allow me to be that way. I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say, and I don't even know if I've got my point across, because this type of video, some of these videos are harder for me to record because it's things that I'm realizing now and things that I'm living now. And living and realizing these things now is harder to talk about because it's something that I'm actually in and not something that I've guess conquered or mastered. So yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe. Um and I'll see you in the next one. I'm really liking this makeup look today, by the way, and my little slick back bun. Anybody who knows me knows I used to hate my face without like hair in my face. Like I used to not like my face when it's all back. I used to hate it. Like, why is my face out? Why can people see my face? And I absolutely love it now. Absolutely love it. And that's growth. Period. But yeah, love you. See you in the next video. Mwah.